Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Oversliding Takes. And let's get right to the news.
We're going to open today with the sad news with the passing of Carl Weathers. He was Greef Karga in The Mandalorian, but of course he was better known as being Apollo Creed from the original Rocky movies.
Yep. Action Jackson, he's in Predator. He's been on quite a few things.
Oh yeah, he acted his entire life.
Yeah.
He was even voicing a character in Toy Story named after him. He was Combat Carl. It's so sad to hear him that he's gone.
It's sad because
76.
he didn't look sad. I mean, he was... when you
kept
see him in
in
The
good shape
Mandalorian,
and
well,
moving
yeah.
around.
I mean, well, he was in pretty good shape when he was
Yeah.
young. He could beat up Rocky for crying out loud. But seriously, I mean, you watch The Mandalorian and you really don't even realize how old he is or how old he
No,
was.
I mean, if I didn't know he was 76, I would have thought he was a 76. I thought maybe late 50s.
Yeah, he was in fantastic shape. I mean, he did...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very sad.
He passed away in his sleep on Thursday. Aside from that, there's no cause of death given right now, and condolences to the family and
Yeah. And to all the fans. I mean,
to the fans.
Tons of fans. I mean, he was a true... Great actor, great guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I've
he had
seen
a
a lot
fantastic
of,
life.
especially as of late, I've seen a lot of interviews with him about The Mandalorian. Seems like a really genuinely good person. So
What range? Going from Apollo Creed
to
Greef Karga.
Yeah.
He was in Happy Gilmore, Predator. He was even in like Law and Order and stuff at one time.
Yeah, even things like Arrested Development. He's been in a lot of things. I can remember him over the years. So
Magnum PI.
really, that I don't remember. Though I did watch Magnum when I was a very young. Mm-hmm. But no, very very sad news. And
Sad news.
yeah.
I'm gonna be sad, and I don't want them to ever recast Greef Karga.
No, I don't think there's not to
I think
obviously
that
that's
this is his stamp.
yeah, obviously that's not the most important thing right now,
No.
but to touch on it briefly, I think his story was done, and I don't think you recast him. I think if he was planned to be in Mando season 4 of the movie, you just let it go. Or you have him as like a, assuming the family is okay with it, kind of a message to Mando at some point maybe, I don't know. For me, I think you just leave it alone.
I think his story ended on a high note.
Yeah.
He did his best. He set himself up as magistrate. He was really actually improving, looking after the people.
Yeah.
Beyond just being originally the bounty hunter guild
Yeah,
master.
he had his own sort of little redemption arc, you could say.
He did. I mean, like I said, he cleaned up that entire place. He made it a very lucrative and interesting, respectable place to live. And when he was in trouble, he called for help.
Yeah.
He understood the need for help.
Yeah, agreed. Like I said, Madge's a nice little character arc for him.
So, Carl Weathers, you will be missed.
Indeed.
And thank you for a long and wonderful career. All right, let's move on to some other Star Wars news. I'm going to bring it up a little. Wes Chapman, he did an interview because he was obviously the face. He was Captain Enoch from Ahsoka.
The face.
Obviously.
If there was anything obvious about Enoch.
Obviously the face behind the creepy mask.
Sure.
The face within a face. And I'm hoping that this interview sheds a little light on where we're going.
Oh.
Wink.
Yeah, we didn't get anything. Like, there was the first time we saw Enoch, I think everybody was like, oh my god, what's his story? What's the deal with this guy? And then
I need his action
Stormtrooper.
figure.
Yeah, I need that guy in Black Series. And then, he didn't do anything.
Wes Chapman's already really, loved within the fan community because of his role in The Expanse. He is a sci-fi veteran. 6 seasons in The Expanse.
Is The Expanse 6 seasons now? Well, we've watched the first 2, and we have to go back and
Yeah, we kind of
expand
fell off
on
the
The
wagon.
Expanse. Yeah, we did.
When he first was asked to audition for Ahsoka, he said, when we found out it was an audition for Star Wars and they wanted me to go do a suit test in LA, we asked all the questions that you ask. It's like, what's the role? What is this? What's the time commitment? And they're like, sorry,
can't tell you.
we can't give you any of that. Do you want to come out for a test or not? And I was like, yeah, I'm coming out. And I told my team, listen, don't count on me to be a tough negotiator because as soon as I show up and as soon as I see stormtroopers and things like that, they have me. I'm not coming home.
Well, little did he know he was actually going to be the stormtrooper,
He was
like
the
Thrawn's
stormtrooper.
stormtrooper.
Very interesting. Do you know he actually started his career in the military? He started acting from the military as well. He was in the U.S. Navy, and Denzel Washington came out and was filming on his ship, and he got cast in the movie.
That's
so he got
kind of cool. That's your start, yeah.
So I mean, going from an actual military Navy background to being in a Star Wars Navy, it's kind of cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I hope they do something with his character too. Like you said, are we going to get a little tidbit of more to come with him because he did nothing.
He did say that
he's like, yes, Grand Admiral. That was about all he did, I think.
He said, when I saw Captain Enoch uniform for the first time, it reminded me of Excalibur. And I remember having a conversation with Dave Filoni, and he was excited that I picked up that detail.
You mean the old, like, 1980? 81, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I think I saw that many, many years ago.
I hadn't ever seen it because that's before my time.
It is, that predates you.
That predates me, so I had to go and watch a trailer, and I chuckled through the whole thing,
Yeah,
and
I
I saw
watched that
Enoch
with
a
you,
few
yeah.
times, the face, and it literally is the same face. I have a picture up there. It was kind of funny. But did you also know that the first movie that Chapman ever saw in the theaters was Return of the Jedi?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
he's a long lost brother then. And now I love Enoch. Because that is, I don't know if that's the first movie I ever saw, but it is the first movie I remember seeing when I was 5. So, I mean, if there was one before it, I don't even want to know. I want to believe that was
So
like my
Wes
first
Chapman's
movie.
like your brother now?
Yeah, better than my real brother. Because his favorite movie isn't Return of the Jedi.
Because your real brother would never listen to this, but Wes might.
He might. He probably
might.
Yeah, my real brother would never. He's a huge Star Wars fan, but he would never listen to this.
He also went on to say, it's a surreal experience to be part of Star Wars and to be a character that I couldn't have designed any cooler. I have a lot of respect for Dave Filoni. I have a lot of respect for what he's done and what he's doing with Star Wars and for Star Wars. And so to be something that he created in a wholly original thing is really exciting and really compelling.
Cool. I hope we get something out of Enoch in season 2 of Ahsoka or somewhere.
Did drop a little bit of a hint here.
Okay.
He also went on to say about Enoch, I think the potential of this character is exciting. He said this all with a sly grin on his face, by the way. He looked like, the fox and the chicken.
He forgot he wasn't wearing the mask and he was grinning.
He says, there are some vague hints, and there has to be a reason the character is there. Thrawn introduced one person.
He did.
He did. The only person that Thrawn was like, hey, everyone, this is my entourage, and this is Enoch.
Thrawn always has like a favorite though. So
Well, yeah, but
it's got like
it's
a
gotta
project.
be important that this is his favorite.
Yeah. So that's like he had Eli and Vanto in the new series. So
Now he's got Enoch.
Somebody. Yeah. I guess that's the new Eli.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with this character. I'm hoping they move forward. I mean, if you ask Dave Filoni questions about a character, I mean, even Wes has come out and said that Dave will tell you the entire story, like tell you plans he's thinking of for his character down the road.
Why doesn't he tell that to us? He's always very coy when he talks to the fans.
Well, he'll tell you a backstory about a character that really doesn't do anything because he knows it all. It just is a matter of when we will see it.
All right. Well, fingers crossed that season 2 of Ahsoka is better and more Enoch.
And
a real Grand Admiral Thrawn would be nice too.
In the last piece of news, because there's always another, Marvel has come out and announced the Ahsoka comic book adaptation.
And I know what you do next. You
Where I
recommend
tell
people
everybody to not
buy it.
buy it because if it's a one-for-one retelling of the show, it's not worth your money.
There goes our Marvel sponsorship.
But in this case, I actually want to tell you to buy it.
Why?
Because seeing it in comic book form might be more enjoyable than watching the live action. Because it'll have that that element. Like if you were watching
that's
it,
a backhanded compliment there.
Remember, we talked before about how we thought Ahsoka would have done better animated.
I think so. Yeah.
Comic is a good form for that too, because the things that might have looked a little awkward or off-putting in a comic book, you're willing to forgive.
You mean like jumping outside of a spaceship and like doing a flip and?
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like Ahsoka would be better as a comic book than live action. Even just looking at the cover image I've got up there, I love the way the hair looks. I love the way her
they all
leg
look good.
and everything
The hair
are moved.
looks very young.
Hair does look very
and
young.
like she did her makeup today.
Hey, Hera's makeup is always on point. But the characters will look more true to like what they look.
Yeah,
they'll look more like a cross between their live action and their
more
Rebels versions.
Yeah,
that has the air that still looks like Rosario, but it doesn't exactly look like Rosario. It looks more like Ahsoka to me than even Rosario ever could because she's a live person. This is a comic.
Yeah,
things are going to move the way that they would because you can only do so much with a prosthetic and that headpiece.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So I'm actually interested in this. Partially, again, because I always look for, is there any sort of detail that is in this comic book that they left out? Because
they could put like a conversation between Ezra and Sabine in there. That would make I would buy that issue for the conversation about like, wait, how did you get here? Oh, so you gave Thrawn the map, and now that conversation.
What?
Now they'll just skip that one too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, that's going to be all we got for this time. So now it is your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news, and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.